My job is as the CEO of Vostok Group. Vostok, for those of you who don't know Russian, just means east. And coincidentally enough, we're based in Vladivostok, the capital of the Russian Far East, on the edge of the Asian Pacific region. And one of the things when you're a 9-hour or a 7-hour or an 8-hour flight east of Moscow, you're closer to many other Asian Pacific countries and their capital cities than you are to Russia's capital, Moscow. I mean, one example I was given is that Vladivostok is closer to Honolulu than it is to Sochi on the Black Sea, which I think is appropriate. We found it's very easy. We're a typical example of a company in the Far East of Russia, where they offer a heartfelt welcome to Europeans, whether we arrive as backpackers on the Trans-Siberian Express or as business investors. My own company is a typical example. With the assistance of local lawyers, we have quickly, easily, and quite inexpensively registered 2 companies, a development company, Vostok Projects, and a trading company, Yes to Business. Apart from a nominal 1 share to a Russian director of each company, all the shares are held by me, a British citizen. The development company is a typical example. We are the first British-controlled company to be granted resident status in the free port of Vladivostok, with significant tax savings and other benefits that this current slide attempts to show, but it's maybe very difficult to absorb in the time that's going to be on the screen. So if anybody who needs information on that, please write me an email and I'll send a copy of the slide to you. We've basically identified and secured agreements to purchase 2 key sites for development. The last greenfield city centre site with planning permission to build a 25-storey hotel and residential complex, and a coastal suburb site in an area renowned for its ecological credentials, suitable for at least 100 homes amidst trees with sea breezes. It's what Russians want, to move out from crowded apartment blocks in downtown Vladivostok with all the problems of traffic and everything else, to a little bit of freedom and a bit of countryside. We have an international investment company willing to guarantee a loan of £100 million plus for development purposes. Radisson Hotels are working with us to secure the management deal for the Vladivostok Hotel, their first property in the Russian Far East, and their first hotel east of Tyumen in western Siberia. Okay, we're negotiating with suppliers. AHR Global Architects, who already have an existing portfolio in Russia, are our architects of choice for the Vladivostok projects. We have opted for our main construction company to be the London-based Antyapi, which has extensive experience in Western Russia. We've even sourced British cladding for the perimeter fencing and fireproof cladding for the buildings. Vladivostok is the key European outpost in Asia Pacific, located in the extreme southeast of Asian Russia. It's geographically closer to Anchorage, Alaska, and even Darwin, Australia, than it is to the capital of Moscow. Since it unlocked its gates after being a closed city for 70 years, Vladivostok has blossomed. Spurred by being the host for the 2012 APEC summit, it has become the Eastern Davos. Since 2015, it has hosted the Eastern Economic Forum. Last year, it was attended by Chinese President Xi Jinping, leading 600 Chinese delegates. This year, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi was chief guest at the event, which also was attended by Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, Malaysian Prime Minister Mahathir Mohamad, and Mongolian President Khaltmagen Batulga. A host of ministers from other Asian Pacific countries attended. This opens the surrounding nations of China, Korea, both North and South Japan, Malaysia, and Thailand to cooperate with Vladivostok companies. I'm passionate about Russia, I'm passionate about business, and I'm passionate about British potential exporters and providers of services, and we'll do our utmost to build a European outpost in the far east of Russia. Thank you.